I'm loading up the campaign, but
I'm ready.
Dude,
My web browser is being sat on, so
What?
I just might have to
I don't
reload
think
it or
that's how it
something.
works.
No, it's being sat on. Apparently, webpage 000, I don't even know, is up now. But yes, I am here, and I'll just have to hit the back button.
perfect.
Imagine having a
last
tablet.
last we left off. What happened? I don't remember. Can
Well-
someone tell me?
Kirill decided to literally oblivionize Arcadian's brain.
Yep.
Turned him into a literal mush sack, or whatever the hell he is. But he has no mind anymore, essentially. No memories. We encountered some dwarves after finding some...
I became one with the Matrix.
Yes, well, also that's the other thing, is you got the crown, the Ashen Crown. We found some salamander scales and a lot of dead dwarves, and encountered the dwarves that are stuck here and being killed and farmed for slave labor.
Ran into a couple of dwarves there. Made some acquaintances, and they said they wanted the crown. And you guys were like, no, maybe. Actually, Carol said maybe, but first
What
they
an
needed to
idiot.
use it. Yeah. And so you guys were trying to decide what you wanted to do with the crown in relation to the dragon, or whatever else you'd like to do with it. And you guys were sitting in that common hall with some space provided to you, but there are still a good number of dwarves milling about in this area. The floor is yours, though. So you guys were in the middle of a discussion about it. So it's
Oh, we decided we were gonna just, deal with the dragon.
I agree.
You will recall that the last time that you saw the dragon, he approached
I
you
don't think we should
invisibly,
talk to the dragon. I think that is a
paralyzed
terrible idea.
all of you.
This is like one of the few times I agree with how you're like.
No, he's expecting us to walk out of the cavern, walk out of the building we went into, and hand him the thing. I don't think he's expecting us to have a conversation.
Well, he's corrupted, right? So I mean, I don't think that's.
I don't think that personally, but
I think he would be very happy to kill us.
I don't think he has
evil.
any knowledge of him, his old self.
Are you just trying to save the wish spell and not use it before we talk to him, or? Yeah, but Tom, like, we could probably reference back to you for this. Like, the only difference in the dragon right now is the coloring, right? Like, it looks like the same dragon.
The previous dragon that you encountered was partially invisible. You did see his face briefly, and when you did see Sorendor, there was some resemblance when you first saw him in the mountain peaks in one of the simulations. So could be. You could roll, I'd say, a perception check. See how certain of that you are.
I would guidance Tammin in that, since Tammin was staring into his face very closely. Why, are you a bad perception?
I have
Do
a bad
you have a
history
bad-
with perception.
What do I perceive?
Look at that cure roll, and then roll a 1d. Roll a 1d4 too.
Wait a minute. Are we have an exhaustion level right now?
Yeah,
That's
let's don't forget
15
that. Yes.
Plus 1d4.
22.
At 22. So you're fairly certain.
Okay.
It
Imperial is
the facial markings are consistent with that of Sorendor's, his little frills and whatnot. Yep, you're pretty sure that it was indeed Sorendor.
All right, let's take the elevator up.
Is this kind of racist because we don't know because we're not dragons?
Yes.
Could be. Yeah. Don't know all their facial markings
Been,
enough to distinguish
racially
races.
profiled.
You only
Yeah.
know them by the color of their skin.
I feel
Their
like we
scales, dude.
crossed that boundary.
Yeah. Okay. And so, yeah, you guys start heading for the the door.
No. What? You guys are so stupid.
I would agree with the not going face to face with the dragon. If you think it's the dragon, I would say use the wish spell, but don't go face to face with the
We
dragon.
also need to talk to these people.
We already did.
Yeah, we said give us some time to deliberate. We can just walk out the door.
Yeah, why not?
What the fuck? I
Well,
don't
we
think that
basically decided that we probably weren't going to deal with the salamanders for now.
I don't think that we need to be face to face with the dragon.
We
First.
don't. I can just make the wish right now. It's
That's true.
fucking pretty damn absurd.
I'm pretty sure all you need for the specific prerequisites is just to have a clear.
So the
image of
question is,
God.
how are we going to word this wish?
That's what you have to fucking be very careful about.
I know. It's like, well, got corrupt in the shadow marshes.
I was gonna say the only other way to not be super specific is to pick a spell that's lower
you can
than ninth
literally use
level.
the name. Obviously, you only know one dragon with the name Sorendor. I mean, the wish spell isn't like, a
Yeah, I
fucking
know, but
legal
I don't want to get
contract.
monkey pod. Don't want to get monkey pod.
Sure, whatever.
You know, what if there's a pseudo dragon with the same name as Sorendor?
No, I just mean
But
like
that wouldn't be Sorendor in
what,
that case.
just like
Yes.
restore his soul to
It's like I
what
need a
it was
fucking
before
lawyer
you
to fucking make this wish.
purify the dragon to
I would
You could hire
say you need to say oh, I don't know.
Purify the corruption
This is
from
not a
Sorendor.
fucking like devil with the fiddle kind of thing here.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Tom's not an asshole.
Well,
Well.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
It does
How's
give
that
the
country
GM
there,
guidance.
Some people have been picked on, I would say. And so,
Some people.
How's your hand, Tammin?
Oh, it's it looks normal, but
for some reason, fine.
No, it doesn't work.
yeah, it doesn't work. It looks nice, but it don't work.
It works. It just
No, it
can't.
doesn't
Anyway.
work.
It has no strength. No, it works.
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah, that means it doesn't
strength.
work.
No, it can't. You can't attack with. There's a difference. You can hold a cup of coffee.
Great,
Right, Tom?
that's what I need in this
You
dungeon.
could play cards.
Yeah, I can hold my deck of many things with it.
Can't you just cast greater restoration or some shit?
No.
Yeah.
So
Could.
reduce
You guys tried throwing healing into it already.
well no, greater
we never did
restoration is
greater restoration. That's a different spell. We just did
Oh, I see
lesser
what you're saying.
restoration.
if someone it's it's usually used to restore people who have been fucking have their attributes trained.
Naga's curse. It can remove stone form from someone's skin.
Let's see. Yeah, it can a reduction to one the target's ability scores one effect, reducing the target's hit point maximum, etc.
Sure, whatever. Anyway, what are we doing with the wish?
I'm gonna wish to fucking purify the dragon.
Don't word it like that, or we'll fucking have to wait 100 years.
Okay, I want to restore the dragon to how he was before he was corrupted by
Don't
the
say the
adventures of
word the dragon. Say
Sorendor.
Sorendor.
Okay, I would like to purify Sorendor of his corruption that he acquired and restore him to his previous state of mind and body before whatever, whatever evils befell him to back when he was an honorable and just dragon.
That
Did
was
you
that was
make the
very
wish, or are
thorough.
you just saying that?
Yeah, I'm making the wish.
Oh, you're making that's
Oh
the
my
wish.
goodness.
Okay.
We're going for it.
Jesus.
Okay. Well, you didn't say I wish.
That's what
Okay.
I was thinking in my head.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't wish it.
Yeah, I didn't
All right,
hear. I didn't hear a wish.
I wish for the dragon Sorendor to be purified of the corruption and to be returned to the way he was before the evil befell him in the Shadow Marches.
Okay. The crown warms your head almost uncomfortably for a few moments. The pearl gathers light from nearby sources into it, and then there's almost like a little pop, and the pearl starts to dim again. Crown starts to cool off. Something happened.
Something happened.
All right, to the lift.
I think. Are we not in the lift?
No,
No,
you guys are in the common hall.
Sure. Okay.
we don't even know. There might be a lift here, though. Hypothetically, right?
Yeah, Kirill
Yeah,
would probably
going
be able to detect and locate a lift on this floor with relative ease. Before you leave the hall, though, Kierna hails you as you guys start to get up and leave. So, what did you all decide to do?
we use the crown's powers to wish to, purify Sorendor the way he was. I'm going to see if it works.
Do
Well,
I
that's-
see their reaction to the word Sorendor? Do they even
Yeah,
know
go ahead and make an insight check.
who that is?
They did say there was a dragon up above keeping them below.
Yeah,
and
they
there
also
was
said they
down
didn't
there.
think that was him.
They
Well,
said that Sorendor had
That's
gone
not
missing
actually
a
what they
long
said.
time ago. They don't know if it is Sorendor or not. And only a few people remember him. Brimley was that old dwarf who had real life, firsthand knowledge of those events. But as far as you can tell, they're not like
They also said
scared of it.
that, like, after we talked to them for a little bit, they basically confirmed that the last time they saw him was before they went to the Shadow Marches.
Yes,
So
that is true. Correct. And so she kind of nods for a second. Well, that'll work out pretty well for us if all things go according to plan. Are you planning on coming with us then? Assuming you guys aren't incinerated or anything as you step outside.
I think we can help you, return your civilization.
Yeah, we wouldn't turn down your help. That works out pretty well. I was going to ask you to do something else if you weren't going to go talk to the dragon, but if everything's taken care of, I guess we should get moving. And she kind of...
Hold on, let us check.
we're not
first.
sure that it worked. We need to figure that out first before
We'll just do a quick return trip to ensure everything went well.
Okay, that sounds pretty reasonable, but I think we should start getting ready, though. And she starts
Oh yeah, you should pack
calling
your
for-
things.
calling for people to start moving, but you're able to navigate your way to one of the areas where there is a lift, and utilizing the magic in the crown and the magic that's resonate throughout this hall, you run your hand across, open a unseen doorway, and you step into a familiar lift.
Oh, did you guys figure out what you're doing for your level, by the way?
Yeah, I don't have much, so I gained HP.
I gained the ability to blast people harder.
Did I tell you my spells, Tom? Or no, I don't remember if I did or not.
You did not, I don't think.
Okay, well, I took Teleportation Circle and Wall of Stone.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
Should put
All
those on my character sheet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Where are you wanting to go in this lift?
To the surface. Floor 0?
Yep.
Oh, I
And that would
gained
place you
one use of Indomitable. Okay.
inside the tower, the base floor. And so, if everybody's hands and feet are inside the room, you start to ascend rapidly. And after a few moments, the doors slide open, and you are greeted with a familiar darkness as you were in the base floor of that tower.
Alright, let's walk to the front door and open and peek outside.
Sure. So, you are you trying to be stealthy? You say peek at it, I don't know.
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, go ahead and make a stealth check, and then
no.
also make a perception check.
My guidance would be for his stealth check.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Stealth's very good. You perceive that it is dark out there, very dark. That was the case prior to this. There was a rapidly dimming light as you guys had briefly charged like the dome that was lighting this area because you guys turned the mirrors. But Sorendor had destroyed them. That dragon had, rather. So it's dark. Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm gonna walk outside and shout
I
Sorendor.
wonder if we were right.
Yeah. No joke. Yeah. So you don't get an immediate response. But as you guys kind of step into, are other people following him?
Sure. Do I still have my holy weapon thing? I don't remember.
I'd be scared of the dragon. I'd be staring.
What?
I would be
Your,
scared of a
mic's-
dragon. I'd be staring out from the
From the
opening.
tower?
No, it wasn't my mic. Someone stepped on the push to talk.
Someone.
Damn somebody.
Goddamn clock.
Somebody has made like loops through the computer and the phone and everything.
Do I still have that holy weapon? I think it lasts an hour. I don't know how long we were talking there.
You would not have it at this point.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, as I say, it's only good for an hour. So
All right. No problem.
yeah.
Just wanted to check.
So, you see, as you guys are all kind of moving in there, Howdy, or you see this first with your low light vision. You see a large mass in front of you guys. It's like a
I
massive pile.
say, a massive what?
A massive pile. It's gray and dark. Okay, you don't
Pile.
see.
Why'd you say?
Pile.
Yeah, it's kind of amorphous. It's at the corner or at the edge of your vision. You see a large thing.
I say, in Draconic, reveal yourself.
No reply.
I feel like you might be dead.
Let's go
Oh,
investigate.
no.
Wish was to restore him to four of the Shadowlands. I don't think he'd be dead, but I mean, dragons live for like ever.
Yeah, but he could have been reanimated.
Or he could just still be evil. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, true.
No, he's gray, not black. There's
That doesn't matter.
Well, no, he saw it as gray, but so as you guys kind of step closer to it, I'm
I
assuming
see
you
everything in gray in the dark.
Yeah.
What it's worth.
That's what I'm
50
saying.
shades
Is
of
that
gray
he sees gray. Yeah. You get closer to the object.
Can
and
I
you
ready
see-
a spell?
Yes.
Who's next? Who's closest to me? Like, obviously, I don't really know because it's just
I
like
don't think we
theory of mine.
established
But
a marching order. I know Kirill
I'll
is
be
in
in front.
Yeah.
I will ready dimension door for me and Tammin to fuck out of here.
Yeah. So you step forward, and you can start to perceive the scaled outline of the dragon, who's kind of coiled in on itself, and is unmoving. It still has black sheen scales that are covering it in its entirety. But it is just lying there. It's not.
I cast Detect Evil. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess Detect Evil wouldn't work. Never mind.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
I-
because
I think
Detect
you
Evil
can.
is very specific things.
Oh, never mind.
It's not. Yeah, they fucked that spell up.
I would know if it was undead.
Yes, you would know, and it is not.
He's not undead. Might be dead, but he's not undead.
I thought you knew everything
Well,
about dead people.
Actually, the spell does say that I know if there's a place or object within 30 feet of me that's been magically desecrated. I cast Detect Evil. I'm gonna cast Detect Evil.
Okay. This place was kind of magically desecrated, but not in the fullness of the term desecrated, because there's like literally the spell called Hollow, which makes either a consecrated place or a desecrated place. That's not exactly what's going on here, but Sorendor did murder like a whole bunch of dwarves, and their spirits came out and were fucking around. You don't
Yes, but-
see any of those spirits now.
Can I detect that the dragon has been magically consecrated by the crown?
No.
I'm gonna go. I'll walk up next to the dragon.
Or
Okay.
a pile. I'll follow him.
Yeah, I'll go up there.
Well, I mean, he confirmed it was a dragon at this point. But
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So you're walking up to the dragon all the way, like trying to get to its like head.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't really think about the fact that I have to like walk around this.
Yeah, it's gigantic.
Now that I'm closer, does it appear to be of a similar size to what's his face?
To Sorendor, yeah,
Sorendor?
Yep. It
All
does.
right, well, I'm tap him on what I would call his shoulder.
Okay. It's a feat. So you tap on him, and what are you doing that with?
My finger.
Okay. Yeah, you tap it. Pop, pop, pop. Nice thick sound. There's no reply.
Can I use like a medicine
Can I
check
make
to
a
see if it's
medicine
alive?
check?
Yeah, you guys can both make medicine checks if you're proficient.
Yeah, about that.
Anybody who is proficient
Oh,
could
I
make a
would say
medicine
anybody
check.
who's proficient?
Yeah.
I did not succeed.
You said anyone
my
who is
God.
proficient?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. Rip.
Who needs medicine when you have magic?
I think that there's a roll coming. Yeah, I'll get there.
Oh,
15.
But it is with disadvantage, so it is 15. So
Unlucky.
Misha, you move.
There's a
Close.
1d4 to that.
Oh, okay. There's Steve 4 coming. It's gonna be
Nice.
Woo!
The
Yeah.
classic.
Well,
The
it's
Every time.
classic.
still a 16. It's
Yeah.
You
fine.
should just straight up not
It's
cast
fine.
that.
That's high. That should be high enough to be like, is this thing
Yes.
alive?
Yes. Right. Yeah. So you move close to its head, and you can see that its mouth is closed, its eyes are closed. For all intents and purposes, this thing isn't giving off any signs of life. You don't sense any motion of breath. You don't see any movement, rise and fall of the chest or anything like that. Place your hand on it. Doesn't seem like there's a pulse or anything. It's just like a statue or a stone.
Wait, actually, is it like stone or is it stone? This is a good statement.
It like stone or the stone?
Stone?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check as you determine whether or not this is indeed stone.
Working on it. All my windows apparently got closed.
How thorough are you being in this investigation? Are you like trying to
I would
hit
be
it?
pretty. I'd be pretty thorough because I'm assuming it's by this point there's no signs of life. So in character she'd think it's dead.
I mean, I feel like I would be aware if I was
Or
not
in
touching a
hibernation.
dragon, if I was touching a stone. You know, I have a draconic ancestry. I
Yeah.
kind of am a dragon.
No, I mean you touch it a little bit more instead of just tapping on it, Haldir. And these are real scales from a real dragon.
Do we know that you know draconic lore and stuff?
I mean,
We
I
are
don't think I've ever hidden that, but
literally
I don't know if
brothers
you
and
have or
sisters.
haven't actually. Yeah, that's my point. Is like, but I don't remember this ever coming up in the.
Haldir has like just a little bit. He's got little sharp teeth in front. He kind of looks like
yeah, I
a
mean,
fire.
in less than a few levels, I will have a dragon wings. So I mean,
It's not exactly hidden. You know.
Do dragons become stone or do they hibernate?
I have no idea.
Ah,
Maybe I
your
should have
character,
an
you know
idea.
that they can
Maybe you should
go
know.
into a deep slumber. They do go into deep slumbers where they are for the most part unresponsive. They usually do that after they've taken a great number of treasures, yada yada yada, and they're kind of recovering from an event or an attack like that.
does he know that then? Like,
Yes.
I mean, how dear that is. Okay.
Yeah, you know, he could just be tired because he ate so many dwarves, or you know, stuff like that.
Spent many an age in the form of corruption, and now he has been healed. Maybe.
Could also be.
Island.
Or my other thought is that he's so ashamed by his actions that he's chosen to hide himself in his mind for like 1,000 years or something. You know.
This could be true. This could be true. While Misha's saying that, she's going to try to like see if she can raise the dragon's eyelid up
Okay.
because she knows human
my
pupils are affected by light.
Sure. Yeah. So you reach up to its face. You kind of have to step on its like forearm to get there, and you push on the eyelid, and go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh, so this is going to end up.
Or it's just really hard to do.
No, I meant I was going to fail the strength check.
Good thing I'm not making this strength check.
Yeah, it's your non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
Negative 100.
12?
12. Okay, yeah. So you push on it, and it it's a relatively thin part of this dragon's hide, and as you push on it, it actually crumbles away. And as you pull away your hand, it's like dusty and black, like charcoal. But you actually see underneath it,
Shed its skin.
there is silver light, kind of reflecting back from your light sources. As you kind of pushed away the.
Misha just realized she's standing on a dragon that might actually be alive, and it's like, and she's gonna fall off of her perch backwards.
There is no immediate response from the dragon.
How dare dragon?
I'll start chipping away at the dead scales.
And then she's gonna screech at you.
I'll chip a few away before I look at her and then sheath my weapon.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of, with your weapon in a good amount of time, start to chunk off some of these scales. And unlike the eyelid that Misha just kind of like broke, these scales maintain their strength as you kind of pull them off. Yeah.
Didn't we need to get dragon scales for somebody?
There was somebody who specifically requested dragon scales.
I think it was the guy in the magic shop, maybe?
That's correct.
Was that the guy that said he would scry on me?
Yeah, no matter what, we always collect
other
dragon
guy.
scales. Guys, we always.
The guy who gave us the things we needed. Use magic and children.
You guys sold. You guys sold him the dagger that you found in the hag's place for a lot of money.
Big money, no whammies. So after seeing Tammin take off a few of these scales and seemingly nothing going wrong, I will assist him.
Okay. You guys are able to gather a very healthy portion of dragon scales.
As I see how they're going to help me and Misha telling me to stop, I just give Misha the what gives look.
She is looking at you like you guys are insane. But Meta, totally collect dragon scales.
I figured we were helping the boy out, not just trying to get some loot, but, you know.
Yeah.
That's my perspective.
I mean, what I was thinking was like, oh, Misha found like what looks like real dragon underneath dead dragon. Like, I think it's molted its skin or something.
You're trying to freeing
the dragon, man. That'll be my
outer layer.
That'll be my alibi before I get roasted. Yeah.
In case we're all roasted.
Yeah, so I'll assist him as best I can.
Absolutely.
And,
yeah, so you guys succeed in removing let's say 5-foot portion squared of these scales off of one of his upper arms. And you're making progress. But wow, there's a lot of dragon here. Yeah, but as you do, as you're pulling these away, you do see the silver scales of Sorendor underneath.
all
right, then I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna start.
I'm gonna try and take him off of his head specifically.
Yeah.
In hopes that maybe he'll wake up and deal with this himself.
Nice.
Yeah, get him, get the dead skin off like the fucking places where he needs to breathe.
I don't think that's a problem.
Yes.
Wait,
so
still?
No, none of the dwarfs came. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about asking them for help too, but I think they're very distrustful of this thing anyway. I doubt that they would.
Yeah. Oh man, I was trying to find that name of that merchant, but I can only find the things that he was selling. In any case, you guys continue to pull and work on this, and 10 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass, 30 minutes pass, and you guys are making steady progress. Haldir, you're working specifically on the face. Is anybody helping him?
Yeah, I'm helping us.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're chipping away, and
I would say that I'm
after you
helping
collect-
Haldir do whatever he wants because he knows dragons better than any of us.
And I would try to help, but I would be very ineffective because I'm terrified that we're unleashing a dragon.
We are.
Yeah, true.
That's the whole point.
that is
But-
what you're doing.
What kind of dragon?
A very good question. So
Last. Sorry, go ahead.
over the course of the better part of an hour, you guys have removed, all working together, a majority of the scales that would in any way hinder his movement. And you might still have some patches on him, but it's not a big deal, you think. And you've collected 200 pounds of solid scales that are not damaged in any way, shape, or form. So if you want to carry that many, you're certainly welcome to.
I'm glad I have a magical
That's a
horse.
Skyrim trap.
Kirill has a small bag of holding or something, doesn't he?
Yes, I believe he does. You had a second one given to you. And
I think it was. I gave it to Kirill.
and just thinking about it, Haldir, you recall the one that you previously had exploded in the tower. It's actually back on your hip now. It's empty. So you reach in, but it's still there.
Oh, that's fine actually, because I didn't really have that much stuff in it, so I just kept all that shit on my character sheet. There's only like
You stuffed everything into a bag.
well, there's only like some
Yeah.
scrolls and some gold. Like that's it.
But yeah,
Daggers
it's apparently it is wasn't actually destroyed.
Oh, well, I guess I'll put them in the bag of holding then.
Yeah. So as you look upon the Sorendor, he's still motionless, and there's nothing, no sign of life or anything like that.
Is it possible to do another medicine check now that we don't have an outer shell blocking?
Yeah, you can make another check. Oh, so you get really, really close to this dragon.
The 1d4.
What?
Get practically up his nostril, and just ever so faintly, there is a shift of air.
I'm
Excellent.
gonna very slowly back away and smile at Kirill and be like, "You saved the dragon."
Excellent. I guess we
He's
should go talk
breathing?
to the door. I guess we should go talk to the dwarves now.
When Haldir asks that, Misha's gonna take his hand and shove it up the nostril.
Fuck.
See, Haldir, you can feel it, yes?
Yeah, I guess. I don't.
Brutal.
So, I'm trying to remember. Silver dragons, and I think no, are lightning.
They do have lightning attacks.
Maybe we should just shock the guy. Give him a little defib.
You think he would be healed by lightning?
I mean,
No, just wake him up. But I don't have any lighting.
I could just cast fucking 5 points of lay on hands on him.
I do not have. I could drop
That's not the worst idea.
not a healing word, but I think your lay on hands might be stronger in cost than my healing word, so I'd burn a healing word over your lay on hands.
Well, I can use this whatever amount I want to lay on
You
hands.
have a way of doing lightning around you, don't you?
Let's not shock it.
No, but I mean, like, you do have a way of like creating lightning, right?
He just has
He can-
Sorcerer's Blessing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of a waste. But I guess it's lightning.
I'll drop the healing word on him.
Okay,
Like-
so you cast Healing Word on Sorendor and go ahead and roll.
Oh, he's not down. Okay, hold on.
You heal Sorendor for 7 points of healing. He does not wake or stir from his slumber. Not exactly sure if it even did anything.
Just a little lightning.
There's no sign of damage on him.
A tickle of lightning. Unless Haldir might know
Maybe
something.
we should
if
just-
there would be a sleeping state he would be in right now where you just can't. A background, I can't wake him.
Maybe we should just like wait here for like a couple hours, see if anything happens.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm fairly exhausted. I would wait for a long while. Just to give it a chance. Are you sure you do not want to shock him? Just a little tickle.
I don't. I
Sure
can't. I
there's
don't
nothing else
have.
that might
I mean,
come
I guess
for
I
us in
technically
that
could,
time?
but
And we saw
Oh, the chromatic
salamanders
orb.
and stuff. And the dwarf said there were slavers.
Yeah, but we got a massive dragon next to us. I mean,
Well, yeah, but
So I mean, you said that I would know that they like sometimes go into a slumber after getting a bunch of treasure and blah 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 blah. But like, I would assume it wouldn't be that impossible to wake them up. Like,
Yes, this
If,
seems to
fucking-
be. This seems
if someone
to be,
walked into a treasure hold, I think they'd probably wake
yeah,
up and
they
like
start
fuck the
start
fuck with
fucking around with their treasure. Yes, this seems to be some. This is not normal behavior. Something is wrong with him. Some capacity.
them.
Was a shadow dragon for like 450 years.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, what's the worst that could happen if I cast a chromatic orb at him?
I mean, if he goes down, I'll bring him back.
I mean, surely I couldn't kill him, right?
One
I
for the
don't-
dragons.
It's got eight hit points. No. Okay, so you cast a chromatic orb at him.
Whoa, back up. Like, you don't want to be next, like, because if he reacts and like flings his wings out, he might just
Yeah.
kill it.
so you end the campaign, huh, Calder?
I would back up and be cheering Haldir on, like clapping and everything.
Clapping for him.
All right, so I'm gonna back up quite a ways,
Okay.
and I guess I will chromatic orb.
I'll back
The
up with him
dragon.
because I have no
Yeah,
idea what he's gonna
I'm
do.
already back.
Yep.
I assume I would hit with a 29.
Yes.
For 18 points of
I'm sure he's beefy. I'm sure he's.
Okay.
He has probably
so,
all his HP.
So the lightning kind of arcs across its flesh. It doesn't really take hold on him very well. But
That makes sense.
after a few moments of holding your breath, it's just you're very nervous about this. Nothing happens. He's still just lying there.
Kirill, maybe you gotta command him to do something with like the crown or something. Like maybe he's Golemus bitch. You know, I
All right. I'm
It's
gonna
actually
use,
not a bad.
I'm gonna
idea
try to
because
use the crown
supposedly
to.
they were friends.
gonna try to use the crown to say, Sorendor, wake up.
You
my bitch.
put on your best kingly voice and you call out to him. There's no reply.
Do you think the dwarves might have more knowledge about this than us?
I don't think we should tell them that he's vulnerable.
That's a good point.
Oh, did not think of revenge. Can we hide him? I mean, this is the way out.
Can we hide him? You say?
Yeah,
we cannot move the dragon.
I'm to be the one that's gonna fucking carry him.
you're
Not by
talking about
yourself.
you're talking about carrying like an
Like
air.
pulling him.
Hundreds of pounds? Yeah,
Yeah,
thousands,
yeah.
if not thousands.
I'm going to drag an airplane around with no wheels.
What, a 900-year-old dragon or something like that? I mean,
Oh, he's
jeez.
much older than that.
That's what I'm thinking.
That was
He's probably a large ancient dragon.
He is an ancient dragon.
I could try a greater restoration after a long rest, but I do not have that spell right now.
Yane, are you trying to push him?
I want to see if I can move him.
You can move one of his toenails.
Yeah, you budged his paw.
Hey,
It moved.
I better get a.
Straight
I'm gonna look over to
across the
Misha.
ground.
Like, can I have a clap?
Give me one
I
of those
moved him.
D4s. It doesn't do anything.
You're profusely sweating.
Actually, feet.
Yeah. What would you like to do? You got a big body of a dragon just laying here.
I'm just gonna keep clearing off the scales and stuff.
Sure.
I think we got them all off, didn't we?
All of it.
I don't
You
think
got
we got
most
all
of
of them, did we?
the most
All
of
that
the
we needed.
Yeah, all that you
Yeah,
needed
he
to
said
for him to
200
be able to move.
pounds, which is a lot.
200 pounds of usable scales. You
Right,
took off
okay.
more than that.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I suppose if we still got some.
You know when you walk up to a dog and you blow into its nose and they freak out. I want to try that with
You
this.
want to do that with this? All right. Just what we want. The dragon freaking out.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm gonna blow in his nose like as
It's
hard
like
as
a
I
little-
can.
It's nothing to this dragon.
Go ahead and make a medicine check as you breathe life into him.
Through his nostril.
Ugh. Gosh.
Dude.
That's some ancient dragon breath you're inhaling, and wow. That is horrific.
Okay, but it's breathing.
Yes, but Misha knew that.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay attention.
Only if Tammin pays as little attention as you, Card. That Tammin probably knew about it.
Nah.
If I was-
All right. Yeah. What do you guys do? You take the time to clear off the remainder of the scales, and at this point, besides the ones that are probably underneath him, you cleaned him. He's free.
Can I make a check of some variety to see if I met? Like, is there anybody I would have met, like when I was traveling with what's his butt, that like knew a lot about dragons, or if I ever talked to anybody? What's that guy's name? I should really remember that.
Namek.
Yeah. Is there anybody I know who knows a lot about dragons or something?
Well, Namek is probably the person you know best as far as his knowledge on dragons, but it wasn't super extensive. You met probably one or two scholars in Skull who had majors in dragonology, and they knew quite a bit about them. But you weren't like really good acquaintances with them.
Well, I'm wondering. So we got those We got those things that we were supposed to use to tell the people of that one town what Jelrum was like, and we never did that.
Message
So-
scrolls. Yeah.
So I thought maybe we
Message
could
scroll.
use that to communicate with
Nice.
somebody.
Like lifelining somebody, phoning
Yeah.
a friend. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. $14.
Yeah. So you spent some time with a wizard who styled himself as a professor on dragons while you were in Skull. His name's Sigrid Nattel. And you remember his name. You remember kind of what he looks like, too. So you could feasibly send a message to him. A sending scroll, I think, is actually what it is, not a message.
Yeah. I don't know if he would have a way to respond to us or not, though. But I mean, presumably he's a quite powerful wizard, so, maybe.
Knowledge
Nerd,
and
probably.
skill are not necessarily tied, but people in Skull pretty talented, generally.
Well, I can't even use the scroll. It would have to be Misha, I believe. Because I don't think sending is a spell that I could actually use.
You could utilize the scroll, but you would have to roll.
It's a cleric spell, but I think it's higher level than what I can cast.
It's a 3rd level cleric spell.
Oh, never mind. I can cast it.
Nice.
But she does need to be familiar with the creature, and you are not familiar.
Oh,
I am not.
Oh,
familiar
they
with
can
the other two, with
answer.
the contact.
recognizes you as the sender if it knows you and can answer in a like manner immediately.
Yeah, they can respond in 25 words or less as well.
Only 25 words.
So it should be you who does it then. Yeah.
Let me pull out my notepad real quick here.
Oh boy.
It's going to be more careful wording than the wish spell.
I'm thinking here. One sec.
What's everybody else doing as he's working to put this together? You see Haldir sitting down with a notepad, trying to figure out.
An
I would try
actual
to
note.
assist Haldir since I know the spell mechanics better than him.
Okay. Well, you're certainly welcome to.
I don't know if that would give advantage, but I would try.
I'm just
Well, he's
walking
not-
around
he's not,
the dragon.
Working to get advantage, he's like literally writing a message.
I'm trying to figure out what I can move and what I can't move with my body.
You
Just for
drag
fun.
you drag the tail around, and you're able to move that pretty effectively. I think that's pretty sweet. You pick up one of its wings, and then you drop it because it is incredibly heavy.
Gust.
Yeah, your squat just is impressive. I mean, look at you.
New PR, dude. Nice.
You just deadlifted that wing, dude. Yeah. Just everybody's chilling while LG figures this
No,
out.
no.
Well, I don't think there's much left to really discern from this.
Sure.
At least not from my capacity, that's for sure.
How many words is this?
25.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's not a lot.
I gotta cut some.
There's so many Among Us memes out there. It's
I know
crazy.
they're all good too.
They're all okay. they're not
They're pretty
amazing.
good.
I only played that game one time. I haven't gotten another invite. I guess I'm just not.
I think
Wasn't good enough.
probably
We haven't
play
played
some
since then.
tomorrow or Saturday.
Okay, I have my message.
Okay, I'm listening.
So I guess I'll pull this scroll out and attempt to use it. The message is, "Hello, Sigrid. I greatly need assistance. What might cause a dragon that is alive to be completely unresponsive? Have tried many manner of things. Thanks."
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20 plus your Arcana modifier.
With disadvantage. Yikes.
To roll an Arcana
No,
check.
That's not
Straight.
advantage.
Good.
Yeah,
What is
he's casting a
Arcana
spell.
modifier? I don't remember. Well, couldn't I just roll my Arcana?
Yes, that's what I mean. Is you roll your Arcana. That's what I meant to say.
23.
Well, huge.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So the spell appears to launch off without a hitch, and after a few moments, now I have to think of a reply. Sending spell.
Do you want to take a 5-minute break, or do you have something?
No, it should be fine.
Okay.
I read that magic item, by the way, and I have no idea what it means. I don't know if I'm retarded or.
What do you not understand?
How do you generate these charges?
Uh, 10 days maximum.
Doesn't say that.
Could recharge in a day.
It's talking about when you'd be knocked unconscious. That's not talking about the charges, unless it is, in which case
it's a different
not
charge.
denoted very well.
So there is a different charge. There's the skull in the back. I guess that's not very clear. But the skull in the back is what provides that effect of the unconscious canceling thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. Oh,
They're
at the very
separate.
end.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe did you edit? No. Okay, at the very end it says it takes 1 day, 10 days. Damn.
Great exhaustion. Something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you get the reply back in your head. A great exhaustion, a curse, something of that manner. Send location, and I'll bring a team to study. We'll pay handsomely.
So we would need to use another one to reply. Also, that didn't really help our situation.
You know.
I mean, money though. For you people who like money.
What is my opinion of this fellow? You know,
he's very astute and driven in his work and in his field. He's a connected individual in Skull. You probably held him in high regard when you met him. You've grown in.
Maybe I don't hold very many people in high regard, though. So
that's true.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Wait a minute. So you sure this is Hal there?
Higher regard than you held Namek, that's for sure. And so he's more professional in that aspect. But yeah, so again, he said
more slimy though.
It could be a great exhaustion, a curse, something of that manner. Send location, and I'll bring a team to study. We'll pay handsome.
Greater restoration removes an exhaustion or a curse, but we'd have to commit some time here.
Well, I think that. I mean, that was kind of my thought too. Is like maybe he's just fucking out of it or something, and that's why I said maybe we should just wait here for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So-
if we wait.
And if we do wait, we need to like
Yes.
make sure that he doesn't get fucked with by something else. So we need to stay close.
Yeah.
So someone should probably. We should probably have Kirill and maybe one other person. I don't know. Go and inform the dwarves that we are going to be waiting for a little bit of time. So
I didn't talk to them very well last time, so it shouldn't be me.
Yeah, I'll go do it. I'll go tell the
because
dwarves.
Kirill has to be one of them because he has the thingamabob. But
I'll go with.
Okay, so Kirill and Yang, you guys are heading back to.
maybe we should maybe split that a little better.
You think?
Like,
Two biggie, beefy no guys.
what if someone needs to take a hit for me?
That's why you have Misha.
Oh my goodness.
Should Misha flex now?
I mean, I know it's probably fine.
Misha peeks out from behind her giant shield.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should just wait.
I'm gonna go inform the dwarves
what
what's
happens.
going on.
And if
Okay.
if all else fails and we really can't figure anything out, I guess I'll reply to that guy at some point over the next day or so.
Sure. So, Kirill, you are heading back solo.
Sure.
You- Step back into the tower.
I'll go with Kirill.
Yeah, so I don't get mauled by fucking salamanders. That'd be great.
Where do you have the
Actually, I'm a good
crown?
choice because if shit goes really bad, we can Misty Step back to the dragon,
Oh, that makes
or not Misty Step, Dimension
Dimension.
Door.
Dimension door, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You step back into the tower, and you, I assume at some point lit a torch so that you can actually see what's going on, and you are able to navigate your way to the lift and direct yourself back down the levels, the floors, back to I think the 28th floor or something of that nature was where they were before. And you see a dwarven population in motion. They are effective and in a hurry as they are rapidly gathering their supplies and belongings. You make your way, or you start asking around for Kierna, I imagine.
Yes.
She sees you from across the room. Well, that's good. They're not dead, and he still has the crown. So I think we're in good shape, boys.
Yeah, so the dragon is out of commission. He's been kind of restored to his former glory, but he's kind of asleep right now. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens when he wakes up. But I think it's pretty safe for you guys to probably come to the surface.
Oh, that sounds fucking wonderful. Did you see any of those spectral things? They were kind of coming down through the top floor while Sorndor was messing around, and I assume you did confirm that it is indeed Sorndor.
It is indeed Sorendor. Because there's a silver dragon underneath like the dead rotting black scale.
Oh, that's very lucky. Okay. But about the shades, though, did you say that there were no?
We didn't see a single one when we were up there.
Well, then we can just start taking everybody up one by one.
I would like. We're not sure. I'll be honest. I mean, we need to ensure that the Sorendor is like actually in good shape. We're not just gonna leave him and stuff. Because we kind of made a deal with him in the fake world, but it was like the real him. It's very complicated, but we're kind of honor bound, you see, and it could be. I'm not. I'm hoping it won't be, but it could be several days before we're ready to assist you in leaving the place.
However,
I just want to make that so you're aware, so you're not just sitting around. And it also might be a lot more difficult to deal with the salamanders if we're all up there. And then, like, I'm confident we could handle a team of attacking salamanders, but I'm not entirely confident we could do so while also making sure that none of you get hurt. See?
I do have a proposition. They could move. The dwarves can move into the tower, and that way it's more of an enclosed area. The salamanders can only come from two directions, which is down or the front door, which we'd be right outside of.
Well, if the dragon's out of commission, we would like to leave here like now, ish. And while it would be nice if you came along to help us in our travels, it's not necessary, really. We think we'll probably be okay. They don't really ever go on the road, so that is the purple worms. So we'll probably be fine, and we don't want to stay here because those salamanders will definitely fuck us up. If they come in force, it'll be a
Question,
disaster.
Tom.
Yes.
So now that I learned this teleport spell, do I know where the places are?
Oh, so what's the teleport spell?
When you first gain the ability to cast the spell, you learn the sigil sequences of 2 destinations on the material plane determined by your DM.
Okay. So
we talked about before.
Yeah,
so
we did. Yes. So one of them is the Sanctum of Lycidas. You recall seeing.
That's good.
Yeah. You recall seeing one of those teleportation circles there, and then you did spend time in Skull, where inside their like Great Hall, where they have tons of teleportation circles that are available for everybody to use. That would be available to you as well as they're like their university essentially. It's the gateway to it. So you have those two.
So, question.
And that. Yeah.
How many people can I send through this fucker? Because it doesn't really say.
What's the name of the spell again?
Teleportation circle. I can just link it.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't pull it up in this.
I just posted it in the chat.
You're able to.
Is it a 5e spell?
Yeah.
It's a duration of 1 round.
You can fit as many people as you can within the 10-foot diameter circle then. Of course, 10 foot, if people occupy a 5-foot space, that's...
So it's not really feasible to send these people through.
I
figured not, but...
4 people.
Now, you can squeeze people tighter than that. That's just kind of...
I mean, and it's basically like a Stargate. It's like as soon as it opens, people just start moving through it. Like.
Obviously, you could definitely fit people.
That's combat squares, right?
Sure, yes.
I don't personally take up a 5-foot cube.
I hope not.
Not yet.
Unless you are a gelatinous cube.
Yeah. Literal cube body with the little flappy arms. No, yeah. I mean, you could transport probably... and it says that anybody who enters the portal until the end of your next round, so you have kind of like 6 seconds to portal in. In Critical Role, I think they say like it's literally 10 people a second, which is like 60 people is what they run with the tree stuff. And this is the same spell; it's just the wizard version of it. So you could probably get 60. They have in their group, I think a little over 150.
All right. Well, I won't bring it up then.
Okay.
I mean, can you just cast it 3 times?
No, it's a highest level spell.
I definitely can't.
No.
I mean, you could send like the children. Are there children?
Yes.
I was going to send the women and the children, like the weakest, the oldest and stuff. That was close.
Yeah, just send them all to Skull. No, it'd have to be all of them.
You could send him to the wasteland around Sanctum Lucidus.
That's one. Well, I guess if we ever need to get back to fucking,
We're
What do you
supposed to
call it?
eventually get back there.
oh god.
I think like
Okay,
8:15.
yeah. So sorry for the
No, that's
still
fine. It's good to
Discord.
know.
So yeah, I suppose she can. I can do that.
Yeah, I mean they start or they continue to prepare, and they make their way up the flights of stairs in a group, and they do so in as much haste as they can muster, because they do not know when another attack will come, and they've now left all their guard. So they are moving as rapidly as they can up the structure.
Can we help them with the elevator, or is it not really feasible?
Yeah, if you want to help some of the injured people,
Yeah,
move,
sure.
through there, that would increase their speed by a good portion. So yeah,
Sure.
so you kind of ferry the injured up and around, and when they see that dragon, their eyes go incredibly wide. I mean, the people who did see it before saw it cloaked in darkness and were terrified because most of the people that saw it died. But now seeing Sorendor, this like massive monster, is jaw dropping for many of them. Some of them kind of spit at the ground seeing him, but other ones kind of have almost a reverence for him. But they all get together, and Kierna, Brimley, and a few other elder dwarves from that clan organize and get the people moving as they start making their way east out of this encampment. Kind of pay a little respects to some of the bodies of dwarves as they leave as well, since there are still corpses like all over the place.
And Neria, thank you.
Oh, they thank you plenty. As well. Yeah. So they, after a few hours, are all gone from this area, and Sorendor has not made it.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I would like
think
to have
we-
watched them pay their respects and find out like funeral rites they would have offered.
Funeral
Yeah.
rites that they. So you're at. I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time.
Paid attention to like them like offering respects and found out like how they basically took care of their dead. Did they burn them? Did they bury them? Like
They didn't. They seemed like they. If anything, they closed eyes. They said words and spoke over them, toasted them. But things were very brief, and they were quick to move on. They did not have like proper burials for anybody.
I would have asked one of them what their preferred method was for that.
I think the oldest tradition is to be given back to the mountain. So take you down below and burn you up. That's usually the way they done it. Some people
By
are
fire?
hurt. Yes, in the fire waste.
Okay. It just gives me an idea for my downtime stuff while I'm waiting to charge up or rest up.
Okay. And then you guys are just kind of taking a watch and taking a rest around Sorendor then?
I think we should at least wait until Misha can attempt to like cure him of a curse or something.
Yeah, I'm not
And
sure if it's exhaustion
reevaluate at that point.
or a curse, but I'd like to study him as best I can and like pump Haldir's brain for dragon knowledge because I think it's exhaustion that he's going through, and also hit with Kirill and just go over like word for word all of his decursing. It's because it's either or.
Are you casting Wall of Stone?
No. Sorry. I was trying to read it.
Okay. So you are doing some more investigation on Sorendor, or just trying to, and also poking Haldier's brain just to see and try and confirm that it's
Yeah,
just.
and matching it with what Kirill's like wish was.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to work it out.
You can make one more medicine check in addition to the work that you've done so far.
1 second. So I have to go actually back to the computer again.
Oh, she's a lady on the move. I can also do it.
Oh, that would, I was going to say that might be faster because I think I can hit my screensaver off.
This is your character sheet. No. Oh, core. There we go. So I can click that, and it should have rolled medicine for you. Wow.
What did you roll?
I rolled double ones.
That's not, I don't even know if that's possible.
400.
I sure haven't seen it before.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, gosh, it's probably exhaustion or a curse. I mean, that's as good as guess
It's
as any.
still a 10.
Yeah, it's still a 10. I mean, it seems reasonable that's what's going on here. You'll just have to try when you get the opportunity to.
All right, my gut is exhaustion. So unless Haldir or Kirill can give any difference of opinion, I would vote that.
Yeah, I don't.
Deciding
I don't
on
know.
that, if it doesn't exhaust me, I would
I have
also
no clue,
work
so.
on Haldir, my dragon knowing friend.
Guys, I don't know anything.
No one knows anything.
Haldir has dragon ancestry, therefore he is a dragon.
Well, I
Lay
I
in the
am.
scales for a minute.
But I don't know. Unless Tom tells me otherwise, I don't have any additional information to offer. And I think if I did, I probably would have been. He probably would have told
it. Yeah. You're at the extent of your knowledge here.
Am I able to that elevator we came up? Is it up or down?
Both.
It's both.
Yeah, takes you both up and down.
Doesn't technically matter. I would want to stack bodies on the elevator if it doesn't exhaust me too much.
No. I mean, it would take time, but you certainly are able to. So you're pulling some of the corpses of these dwarves and.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. You guys take whatever downtime you'd like to over the next 8 hours or so. Misha takes some time to do that. Is anybody keeping watch, being vigilant in that regard?
Yeah, I can do that.
For sure, it's about all I can do.
And what are you watching?
Just anybody who's coming into our general area or anything.
The dwarf corpses.
I'm not
okay.
That, but you can.
You guys can both make perception. And is anybody helping Misha anything in any capacity, or is she just kind of doing her thing?
Sure, dude.
I'd help, but I don't know how I can do that.
Because I would share my plan with you is we're returning the dwarves to the mountain, so I'm going to burn them and drop their bodies down.
Drop them where?
Down, just down. It's as close as I have to returning them to the mountain.
Yeah.
How many dwarf bodies are around here?
Say again.
How many dwarfs are there around here?
In this plaza area that you guys are in, there's 25 corpses.
Okay, well we could just drag them up, and I could make them actually part of the mountain with the wall of stone.
Is that disturbing or is that honorary? Misha asks in seriously confused tones.
I don't know. They said they wanted to be part of the mountain. Just make a hole in the mountain, put the dwarves in it, fill the hole.
But they're to
That
burn.
sounds like
and the-
returning to the mountain to me.
They also said that some get interred, like they put them into coffins and then seal them away. So that's not uncommon for these people, but they mostly get incinerated.
I do like this option. Could we make a hole in the mountain, burn them, and then close the hole?
Let's
Yes.
I mean, we could like that sounds kind of like a mass grave, but all right.
It is a mass grave, Kirill. I'm sorry, I can't. 8 hours isn't enough time for 25 bodies. I mean, if you give me a little more time, yes.
I mean, you can dig
And
25 holes with a
by
shovel.
that, Nisha's like a little more time, like not necessarily a lot. Like she could figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, you guys managed to work together. If you want to utilize the stone shape, that certainly would work. It would probably take care of most of the dwarves. I think 20 feet in length, and then how much is the depth? 10, 20, 3-inch thick things. I mean, you can make a pretty...
No, you can do like it lasts. Like
oh yeah,
forever.
concentration up to 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you are able to create a proper looking
Yes,
tomb for these poor folks who lost their lives to Sorendor.
All right, throw a
Nisha's
fireball
eyes
in
will,
there.
like, tear up. She's gonna like hug Haldir. It is so beautiful. What you have done. Haldir, you are beautiful.
I will shake that off. I suppose. Just say, yeah.
Sure. Okay. And so then the body's taken care of. You guys finish out your rest. Yane and Tammin. So far as you guys can tell, the cavern is dark and lifeless
Okay.
in every direction. You don't hear any strange sounds or unaccounted for sounds as
Okay.
you guys peer into the dark. So you guys finish a long rest. You guys remove your point of exhaustion. Gain back your spells, anything that you had expended.
Are you saying we actually took a long rest, or are you talking about those?
You
two?
did. Yeah.
Before I did the long rest, I summoned my horse again.
You summon your horse again. Okay, perfect. You are mounted once more. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go check on the dragon boy.
Old Scaly.
8 hours
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
changed. Seems
I tried
to
greater
still be
restoration with
in his
the
rest.
intention of removing exhaustion.
okay. So go ahead and make a D20 plus your wisdom modifier.
Mm.
Which I can roll for you if you would like, but I did just roll very poorly.
No, I've got
D20 plus 5. Oh, right there. 22.
22.
Yeah, so you unleash this wave of holy magic into Sorendor, and you sense that the breathing is a bit heavier, or stronger, rather, and you can see that its body, or his body, is starting to shift and move a little bit with each breath, and it seems to have had an effect on him, but he is still unresponsive if you call out his name.
Oh, also, I like, just as a side thing, I like to try to use the crown to command any worms, purple worms, to stay underground for the next week.
I don't think the worms are here.
I know they're not, but I don't know how much range this thing has.
Yeah. So it would be something that you would be able to interface with more so in the tower. So maybe while you're assisting Misha, you why don't you make a D20 plus your proficiency mod as a roll, which I think is 4 now. Yeah. Oof. You are overwhelmed by how much information and like the scope of the things that you can do, that you spend a better part of an hour just like combing through all of these random things that you can do, and you don't find anything that directly pertains to the purple worms.
So Carol's like an insane person almost right now, like with papers everywhere. Like
He's kind of doing the Jurassic Park scene where the girl is messing around on the computer while the raptors are attacking, and it's like that old
Just doing
system
the
where
Charlie like line on the like what the fuck is that like detective thing?
yeah, that as well. But yeah, unfortunately, I just didn't find anything that was exactly relevant to that. You'd find like a little bit of weather control in that region, which is the Red Waste. So you found some things in that regard where you can increase like the humidity and the amount of water particles in the air and the heat as well. So you want to make any changes to that?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's perfect. Tammins, no, you haven't tried to message the dragon, have you?
Hadn't crossed my mind.
He's exhausted and he might be too tired to talk. I think.
I will message.
Let's
I'll point at the dragon's
talk
head
to
and
him.
say, "Sorendor, are you there?" in the message spell.
Okay. You don't get a reply. Yeah. No reply. It doesn't. He does not appear to have regained consciousness quite yet.
So you were under the impression that your spell had an effect?
Yes,
Misha?
it's very visible to all of you that it did have an effect.
Well, then I guess we wait.
Oh, yeah, I would have pointed that out to Haldir and been like, I think he's here.
I'm guessing she cannot cast that again today.
Not again for today. It would take time. Are you guys committed to trying to kill the dragon?
Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, I think we should just wait.
I'm
If it
fine
is
with
exhaustion,
it.
then like one solution is literally just waiting.
Well, yeah,
right?
it's a little bit A, a little bit of B.
Yeah.
Why not both?
I think
I
he
feel a Valithia
heavily
Dreamwalker fight
Oh.
coming on here.
You already did that.
I know. Here we go again.
Let's see.
I mean, 400 years of exhaustion is a lot.
Yeah, that's a little bit. That's a lot. That's a lot of exhaustion, boy.
Okay.
I will say, though, Greater Restoration, it can also maybe deal with fucking Haldir's negative ability points.
Yeah, it can, and it can also probably heal maybe Tammins.
Maybe it can.
I mean, how many?
We've already seen other healing
the
things
dragon takes
not heal
priority over you
Haldir's
guys,
fucking con
unfortunately.
problem.
Well, not the. Not
It's
that's the one.
That's a big dick spell.
Gotcha. Never mind then.
So you guys
recently acquired.
set up camp
Oh,
for
I'm
kind
sorry,
of a
you got that at your
prolonged
level.
type of situation, and you guys kind of entrench yourselves in for another day or so, so that you can regain Misha's spell slots, basically.
Well, and I mean, if it is exhaustion, like
Mhm.
theoretically, it'll just go down.
You can spend its yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that- He would.
But while we're big
Plus-
chilling, I am going to try and figure out this fucking puzzle. I'll spend like the whole day doing it because there's nothing else going on.
Oh,
Okay. You can roll the D100. Let's say 8 times.
Okay.
One.
I think that's 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So there are numerous other kind of mundane and oddity type of effects that kind of roll off of this thing, where to the point where like your hand won't stop shaking, and your hair stands up, and it doesn't leak water again. I don't think you hit that one again. Gets warm to the touch, to the point where it kind of burns your fingertips a little bit. At one point, you feel like if you think the ground is shaking underneath you rather than the orb itself or the puzzle box itself.
Are you sure? Because that one was number 20. And I don't have a 20 here.
Which one?
Well, the reason I ask is because I've been writing these things down
Right.
along with what number they are.
Mhm.
So like I'm trying to determine, is that happening again? Or like, maybe because that happened when I rolled a 20. So like, is that because I rolled the 25 and they're like the same kind of effect, or like, or is you just, what I mean?
Yeah. So to a certain extent, you feel like these are like closely related, like adjacent effects. The same, maybe almost school of magic. At one point, your hand almost like loses it, like becomes more see-through. What's the your opaqueness decreases? Yeah, you become more translucent. Yeah, your hand does, and you can start to see through it a little bit more. But for each one of these, as those effects happen, and you like try a different combination after feeling them out, you don't seem to make any like exact progress towards breaking it or like hacking through it.
All right.
Yeah. But actually, I would like you to make just a straight D20 though. Okay. And then who is keeping watch over this next portion of time?
It would, since she didn't take watch the first night.
Okay. Okay, well then you can go ahead and make a perception check, and you guys are just kind of at this point chilling out the rest of your day as you wait for that. Besides how they're messing around with his puzzle.
I think so.
Okay.
I would offer prayers to the dead, but yeah, basically.
Sure.
I also like to, investigate the tower and the crown to see if there's like anti-salamander defensive measures that could be activated.
Yeah. Go ahead and make another D20 plus your proficiency mod. What you do find, and this is probably the most important thing, is that most of these systems and capabilities are severely drained. There's nothing that's is powering them. There's an old, decrepit magic that's still just barely running, and it needs renewed energy, arcane energies pumping through it. And you actually know how to do that. The light anchor that is the base of this tower can draw in and turn light into a source of energy. And that's kind of what the whole point of this domed structure is to a certain extent. And you're able to adjust the mirrors that are in this this hall through the tower itself. And in doing so, you guys are greeted after a few minutes with full daylight. It's completely bright in here. It was like you're outside, essentially. And you can start to feel as you complete that, Kirill, that some of the abilities that the Hollow Peaks have are being utilized again, or they're some of the mechanisms are coming back online.
Excellent.
Your long rest finishes. So again, if you guys had any spell slots, you get them back. And I take it, Misha, you're just going to cast another Greater Restoration on Sorendor?
Yes.
She's thinking about it.
And I'm going to go for, unless somebody else tells me otherwise, I'm going to go for exhaustion again.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
I'll just.
Which is just a d20 plus your wisdom modifier again.
Oh, God.
D20 plus 5.
Did you guys realize you can hit the fucking up arrow in the fucking text box to use your old messages?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you think I rolled 8D100s though?
He's a very fast typer.
Copy paste.
Okay, so you cast your magic into it again, Misha, into Sorendor again, and this time Sorendor starts to kind of like shift and move. And this is not just a bodily reaction to getting more breath in its lungs or anything like that. It seems to be coming awake. And you see two massive steel blue eyes open up in front of you and kind of looking down at you, Misha. It's incredibly like dreary. You can just see that it's still weighing heavily. The exhaustion is on this creature, but as it opens its eyes and kind of scans you all standing in front of it, its eyes focus in on Kirill briefly, and the crown in particular.
Oh, hey there, bud.
Great.
I don't know if you remember this, but we met in an illusion thing. And we did not kill Dolometh, and that's not why we have his crown. He's been dead for a long time.
You see it kind of like processing this. Its eyes, again, kind of mostly fixated on Kirill. This time, not just not just his crown, but on him in general. And it looks like it's studying each of you.
Call him his
I think we looked like dwarves when we met you, but we were not dwarves. Sorendor. It's me, Haldir. We made a deal. Like a blood pact or something, and about how you wouldn't betray us and we wouldn't betray you. You see?
Something about Mercadians, Mercadians kind of a treachery.
So as you say Mercadian, he shifts a little bit more and tries to like raise his head, and he opens his eyes a little bit more. Mercadian. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But I have a desperate desire to see it. I figured Dolometh is dead. You have his crown. I assume I'm in debt to you for my current condition. And he kind of is motioning towards you, Kirill.
Yes, we use the crown's magic to undo whatever happened to you when the shadow marches.
His eyes kind of glaze over for a little bit. And then he starts to raise his head a little bit more and looks around.
Why do you want to see Mercadian? Because I don't think he's alive. Well, Kinda is, but not really.
I find that very unlikely. That shifty creature does not die so easily.
Well, he's got like a body, like a golem in that tower over there, and he's the one who, and the golem, which is like an image of Mercadian, is what led us through all of the tasks and everything. And he really wanted us to use the wish from Dalmas Crown to restore him to being Mercadian. But he was kind of a slimy motherfucker, so we didn't do that.
Kind of raises his scaled eyebrows at that. He's really dead then. And he's in there.
Well, he doesn't. The golem didn't know what had happened to the real Mercadian. He didn't know if he was dead or alive, but he assumed he was dead. Also, the golem no longer has any memory of anything because he asked us to delete it. So we did.
Kind of takes a full
By
deep breath.
By we, I mean he did.
Kirill, and I'll point at Kirill and step
Well,
away from Kirill.
It did seem like the merciful thing to do.
Kill him, not me.
Yeah.
Let's just say again, Kirill.
It did seem like the merciful thing to do. We had essentially defeated him, and making him stand in one place for eternity seemed a little cruel.
Kind of grimaces at that and says, Mercadian is a creature undeserving of any form of mercy. And he again takes a deep breath, and this time you see his body shift, and he polymorphs himself into a half-elf.
Looking
Excuse me.
good.
Yeah, and you can see that he retains his kind of beautiful aspect, and you can still see elements of his dragon and draconic lineage in him. Kind of looks like what you imagine Haldir will look like in a few levels, so minus the links, of course. But he is again very exhausted. He's barely keeping himself up, and he starts to stumble towards the tower.
I'm gonna put his hand over my shoulder and kind of help him walk.
Jeez, you see a dragon.
Let me help you, buddy. You don't look so good.
He kind of chuckles softly at that and says, I'm indebted to you again. Which should have.
So, can you tell us what happened? Like, we're missing a lot of in context for everything. What happened to Dolometh? What happened in the Shadow Marches? What happened in Mercadian? But like a whole lot of information.
So
much. I'm missing a good portion of the story myself. Don't even know how long it's been since I last saw.
Like 450 years is what the dwarves in the mountain told us. That was the last time they were.
In your terms, I'm missing quite a bit of the story. But if you're asking what happened to me in the Shadow Marches, I was waylaid by a spirit that resides there. I believe was roused by one Mercadian to arrive at that situation.
Was it a zombified dragon?
In essence, it is a Draco Lich, something in that nature.
Is that what was in the coffin?
No, in the coffin, the thing that we pulled from the box was the light anchor. It seems like we've succeeded in that, considering where we are.
Yeah.
You asked why I was distrustful of Mercadian. It's simple. One, he's a solar elf. They're all bastards. And then two, he, despite being good friends with Dolm, I believe, taking him for a fool, to a certain extent, His intentions, to me, spelled out that he kind of looks at all of you. He wanted to free something. He wanted to break the natural order of the world. Let's put it. And while I suspected about this, I could never prove it. And I warned Dolometh of him many times.
I like this guy. All the solar elves are awful.
It's true. But let's see this Mercadian that you dismembered or disembodied.
Well, we didn't really do anything to him except for erase his memory. We were
Yeah, I
kind
think
of afraid of that he was part of whatever the magic in this area is, and he might kill us or something. Should we try and kill him? I don't know.
Well, and you guys kind of get to the door and you step inside, and Sorendor runs his hand across the wall. And you see that it has a similar response to the effect that Dolometh's crown does, and Mercadian had when he was affecting this tower and this structure. This is partially my design, so I think we can discern what you did or did not do, whatever type of creature this is or was together. I see you have the crown, but certainly Dolometh had other treasures.
So before we deleted the man, he said that a djinn came in through a crack and stole everything else? I don't know if I necessarily believe that, because I didn't really believe anything the guy said, but...
He kind of gives it a shrug. Unfortunate. And so you guys start ascending the tower. It appears that he doesn't know about the lift, because he doesn't take you there. You guys go and cross through each one of these rooms. And unless you stop him, as you kind of go through the first one, he sees the figure of the aboleth that you guys fought, and he inspects it very closely, touching it at points. And again, these are finely carved sculptures in this shimmering metal, and it is coated with runes in a very similar fashion to the way the Mercadian was.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of inspecting these, kind of nods, like he's seeing some fine work. Turns to you all and says, "They've certainly been busy. These trials that you were put through, were they challenging?"
Yeah.
So you're capable individuals, then. This was not an easy feat. I wonder, why did you choose free me from that?
Well, it was the problem of that the dwarves who were still inside the mountain were kind of under siege from below by salamanders who were gradually enslaving them, and by you and your corrupted state who had appeared and started murdering dwarves. So they were kind of trapped in the mountain. We thought, you seemed like a just individual inside the vision. So we figured if we released the siege up top, the dwarves could escape.
Also, you told us you needed the pearl or you would murder us. And,
Yes, but I had every intention of wishing myself out of this cavern, which would have freed me upon the world, which probably wouldn't have worked out. In any case, I like I have said, I'm indebted to you. If there's something that I can provide, I
Well,
would be more than willing to.
we're actually here for like a whole bunch of different reasons. But one of them is that now there's like a god who's trapped here. Which one is it?
Ben Ratha.
Van Viscott and Van Rotha are not trapped, but their powers are being drained by
Oh yeah.
Lycidas, supposedly.
There's like some gods, Van Viscott and the other one.
Never heard of them.
And their powers are being drained by something here. And also there's a man we are looking for who may or may not be here. And we're also trying to kill some mind flayers who we believe are here. So really we just want to get all the fucking evil things out of here. And, try and make it a little bit nicer.
Yeah,
That's one of our goals.
and
If you can assist with those things, that would be good. Also, we have reason to believe the djinn who stole the things might still be here somewhere. So if we could find that guy, that would probably also be good.
yes, if we could, it would be nice if the Doors have seen a lot of hardship. It would be nice if they could eventually return to their homes.
Oh yeah, and the salamanders. We got all kinds of problems.
The djinn and the salamanders are probably connected.
Kind of blows out his breath. It's like, whew. You guys have entangled yourselves in the politics of the Hollow Peaks.
Oh, and outside the Hollow Peaks, there's just all kinds of problems. No, I'm just like, I just keep
just
talking
laying
about
on
this
this
shit
guy,
until he
like,
starts
everything's
telling
fucked
me
up.
this.
As it turns out, the world does fall apart. I will help in whatever way I can, but let's continue this for now. I'll think about how exactly I can assist you.
Well, it's clear you need rest at the moment. So we won't. We can take our time.
We need to see this Mercadian.
Sure.
And you pass through another floor, and another floor, and another floor. And you get to the treasure room, the final floor. The door that you guys had opened still lies ajar. But there is no sign of Mercadian.
Interesting.
For fuck's sake.
I thought you said that he was here.
Last we checked, he was.
Well, for all my mistrust of the fellow, for some reason I never questioned if he was telling the truth when he said he couldn't leave. So.
Well, those artifacts back there are limitations set on each and every one of them. Some of them independent, capable of independent. Looking at the carvings of myself and of the apple, I noticed that they could not contain intelligence. You said that I spoke to you here. I have no recollection of it in any capacity. So,
Well, maybe we were manipulated, but here's what happened. We were going along in the visions or false reality, whatever you might call it, and one of them was to encounter you. And when we did, everything froze, and you said that you had stopped the illusion temporarily.
yes.
And you can only do it for a certain amount of time.
I think that's very, very possible and within the wheelhouse of anybody who has the knowledge of this type of structure and was bound by the rules and limitations that would set on them. They emulate the intelligence of the creature that they're designed for.
So you think that was your rock over there?
Yes, I do think. But how? What exactly did you do to Mercadian? You said that
Ask him. I don't know.
I
he's looking at you.
I did these kind of swiping motions. I kind of looked into how I could, kill him with the crown, and I couldn't really figure it out. So I just did what I could to wipe his memory.
All right. Well, I take it that you're not an expert on these. Is it possible you mistake?
Yeah, it is.
Did he tell you exactly which one to activate?
I think, but then I think I verified it from the crown.
No. That's not good. That's actually very, very bad. He kind of gets a little bit flush in the face and he's a bit angry. All right, well, that's just terrible. Looks like you have another task then. Well, at least I do. But let's do a little bit of prioritization. What do you need immediate assistance with? And how can I help?
Do you have any magics? Do you have any individual magics that could ward us against mind effects for, a couple weeks?
Oh. And he points at the crown. That actually is capable of protecting you from charm effects. As a matter of fact, there were a few things that I forgot to list off on the crown. One, it can provide immunity to charm effects. Or it does provide immunity.
But only to the wearer, right?
Only to the wearer.
Yeah.
And at the start of each day, you can pick an element and you gain resistance to that.
Kira's already immune to charm effects. I think.
Yes.
Double charm. I don't have anything that would protect you over a long period of time, unless you were immediately to head into combat. And even then, wouldn't be surefire guarantee.
How long did it take us to get here, Tom?
Up
Not
the
very
tower.
long, right? No,
Yeah,
no, not up
You
the
mean
tower.
from-
Like to
Delrin?
here in the Hollow Peaks.
You spent a day after fleeing the city. You guys spent one day at that crushed house. Then you guys moved into the mountain. You
So
spent
not
one
terribly
day
long.
there. And yeah, you probably spent like 3 days going from the house to where you are.
So my thought would be that dealing with the Lycidas thing and stuff like that is important, but it's not that pressing because he's already been there for like 100 years. Like
This is true.
there are other I'd say I would say the pressing thing. Am I echoing or is someone talking?
No, Misha's talking as
No, I
well.
was gonna say no. I was no. You keep going. I was gonna say yeah. No, keep going.
I would say if we could eliminate all the salamanders or not, or deal with them somehow, so that this place is in good condition and we could just freely come here again. That would probably be pretty good, because then we could leave and take care of other things if necessary, and like come back and deal. Like, but like as it stands right now, if we were just to leave this place, the salamanders would probably notice the dwarfs are gone, and then they're probably just gonna swarm this whole entire mountain, right? Like
But
at
isn't
least
the
now they're in
whole,
a
like-
contained area. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, isn't the whole big overarching thing that is Stardust is basically the destruction of the world? I mean, we haven't mentioned that to him, that the solar elves are back at it again. That's kind of the whole point.
Well, I don't think they ever really stopped.
Well, no, they never stop. They just take a break, but they're basically starting up again. Like we have the event set in motion that we know based on like when we were like session 0 or whatever, that they're going to start the Great Darkness or whatever it is all over again.
Well, that's what they always do, but I guess that's one interpretation of the vision. I'm under the impression that the thing that you saw in your vision was someone equipping the crown in the chamber of Lycidas and blowing up fucking Solera. That already happened.
Oh, I'd love it if they blew up the solar elves. I don't know if that
No,
did
not
happen.
no.
Oh, Solera.
Like I'm pretty sure that already happened. Personally,
did you
but-
think that
Yes,
that vision happened?
that
Oh.
event happened. Whether or not that's what the vision was, that event did occur. Have been confirmed by the Band of Unum, the people that survived. There was a massive explosion. Many people died.
So I would say
A lot.
if Lycidas is like up to something and like his memory is not actually erased or something like that, that is probably a fairly pressing issue because he is a solar elf and stuff. So I think we should probably deal with salamanders and then
Lycidas is not a solar elf.
or not Lycidas, sorry,
Mercadian.
Mercadian. Deal with the salamanders and then assist Sorendor with dealing with Mercadian personally, but I don't know what you guys think about that.
I mean, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, we can do that.
Obviously, there's pressing issues.
So I overheard a good portion of that conversation, and I'm a bit concerned. Obviously, I don't have full knowledge about what's going on, but you said to some extent that there was this character that you're trying to reach has some vital knowledge, but your talk of the solar elves, you're saying that they're revamping the darkness. My wards that I created, are they effective at all?
Yes. In fact, they're probably the only reason that humanity still exists on this continent. I've done quite a bit of looking into them actually before we met you, the image of you, I suppose. But yeah, they're quite effective. Though we haven't made any more because we don't know how to do that, and we also don't know why they're placed where they're placed because some of them are in kind of weird locations. I would say.
Ley lines, that's core of it. Areas that are more attuned to the magic weave. They draw on it to provide that power.
But many of like the biggest cities in the land are built literally on top of them.
It would make sense considering they provide the protection from that darkness.
Yes.
Although how they had
I
foreknowledge.
personally don't have any reason to believe that the elves are going to send the Sycophid again. I mean, maybe not any reason. We did fight a bunch of
Sycophid
Well,
again.
Yeah, but I'm not. But I mean, like within like a short time frame. But then again, we did encounter a bunch of Sycophid already, and we killed them. But there was a solar elf there, and the
You saw
Sycophid.
one?
Yeah. But the Sycophid were not being controlled by the solar elf. The Sycophid were trying to kill the tree and the solar elf. But I don't. This is all very complicated.
Seems so. The Sycophid are a sentient race, have their own goals and hierarchy, nobles even. and they're being used by the solar elves. That's their
Yeah, that's what we
somewhat
were
symbiotic
under the impression as
relationship.
well. But there was like a darkness that fell on a very specific area, not over the world. And in that specific area was a tree and a solar elf portal and a solar elf. And the Cichlids were surrounding it along with like this really evil guy who we'd been trying to kill and some demons. Not demons.
Cambions.
That's the one. So yeah. But other than that, I don't think that we have a reason to believe that the cleansing or whatever they call it will be occurring like within the year or something. I don't know. I'm sure they'll planning on doing it eventually, but
This isolated darkness that you experienced, was that it allowed the Cichlids to move through it freely. I take it to understand. But were there also specters or souls or anything of that nature?
Yes.
don't remember.
There definitely were.
And it sounds like it's definitely part of the Cichlids' wheelhouse.
And also, there were these the Cichlids were like in league with like this human wizard.
Does he have a name?
Mandout Dweir
Yes.
of the Sanctus Arcanum.
Kinda shape.
Yep.
Kind of shakes his head. Doesn't mean anything to me, fortunately.
We're trying to cast a magic ritual over like a solar elf portal. And then we killed him and found it was a body double. And he's kind of a piece of trash. And we're definitely on the hunt for him if we ever get the opportunity.
Fits the bill of an evil wizard. We've failed to reduce the amount of balls in the air. I think let's focus in on one thing. You said cleansing this area would be a tangible goal. That seems reasonable. What do you need to make that happen?
Well, if possible, another fighter. We don't know. We actually haven't encountered any of these fire salamanders, but they've been killing the dwarfs for a long time apparently, and the dwarfs think there's like a couple hundred of them, or like I don't remember, a large amount, and they're at the base of the mountain where the forge is, and or maybe on like a couple levels. I'm not quite sure. So I don't know that it would be easy for us to take them all by ourselves. But were you at your full strength, I would think you could, well, kill them.
Well, also,
or something,
if you
or
could
at least
help us,
strike fear in them, or something. I don't know.
if you could help us, kind of, work with the systems built into the mountain. Any kind of defensive systems that you could help us activate to deal with them, that would be fantastic.
Well, there's nothing in specific that would be able to be utilized down that far in the fireways. If they're attacking inside of the Ashhold itself, there are a number of battalions of animated armor that you could utilize to clear out the salamanders, assuming they're still operational. Aside from that, I could potentially aid you in a fight. I'm not exactly sure how helpful I'd be as I am right now. And there are a number of things that I also need to take care of. Been gone for 150 years. I need to find out if my order still exists and what's happening on the other side of this world. If nothing is incredibly pressing, it kind of sounds like some things are. I'd like to do those things as quick as possible, but I can definitely hang around, and I do owe you a debt. So
Define What do you mean by the other half of the world?
The other half of the world. I mean, there's many continents that
Oh, see,
abound.
that's what I was afraid you might be referring to. The years ago, at least like 100 or so. I would know how long ago? About, right, Tom?
Yeah, it was like 200 years ago that calamity happened
Yeah.
on the other side of the world.
Nearly 200 years ago, or somewhere abouts there. Everyone, well, this is as far as we're aware, the humans and the population on this continent. As far as we're aware, there is no one left on the other continent. They all fled here due to a cataclysmic event by boat, and those who did not have a good enough ship or enough assistance magically to navigate here through all the winds and everything else did not make it.
That's it.
Don't really know the nature of such a calamity, but I know that it happened. And
He just kind of shaking his head, like that's not possible. I mean, you're talking about millions of people, essentially, millions of sentient creatures.
No, that sounds right.
Well, we could definitely check it out.
I will have to, because if that happened to them, good likeliness that it could happen to us. I need to understand why that happened. 450 years out of the game, and things really, really fall apart. I can grant you a boon that will protect you from the heat that you're most certainly going to experience, and I can give it to you for 24 hours, quite simply. And looking at some of you, there are wounds that need healing, and I'm not exactly sure you possess the capabilities of doing so. I will happily take care of those as well. But I can't get tied up in a prolonged fight against lesser foes when things are happening, right?
No, I understand.
No doubt, this does not absolve me of my debt.
I'll reach out my stump hand.
Oh my god.
He grasps it, and it burns. That same, like, freezing burn that you experienced.
I'll wince a bit through the pain.
But as he pulls his hand away, no mark, no blemish, and you feel the strength returning to your hand.
Nice.
And go ahead.
I don't know how it works what you're doing there, but I am a bit weaker ever since this madman put an eye on my eye or on my head,
I can see it. Source of
But
evil.
if you can only fix one thing, if you could somehow get this ring off my finger without killing me, that would be better.
Let's take care of both, shall we?
Oh,
Oh,
Fuck.
shit.
He grabs the ring, mutters some arcane words, and it slides off.
Oh.
And then he
Destroys
takes his hand and he traces the rune that's above your eye, where Donovan gave you that mark, and it sears into you. You feel it again.
hurts so good.
it.
This is interesting.
No, 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 no.
Who gave you this?
Oh, his name's Donovan. That guy's boss. And I point at Yane. He's a real asshole, but he's not as bad as I like to think he is, I don't think. But
I wouldn't be so sure of that assessment. You're aware
well, he
that
definitely
this is
kills a lot of
draining
people.
This is draining your vitality.
Oh yeah,
It's-
no, yeah, I'm aware of that.
It's providing vitality to the bearer or the giver of this mark.
Oh, no, see, now I have to kill him.
Might be advisable. In any case, I can cure this as well. And he waves, or he brushes away the mark like it's a bit of dead skin, and you don't feel the pain anymore. You regain your constitution.
Getting so many hit points. Yes.
Anything
Now you're
else?
40.
Can you give me a little bit of instructions on some of these workings of the Hollow Peaks? Because I want to keep the sandworm, keep the worms underground, so the refugees, the dwarf refugees, don't get mauled by sandworms.
Certainly, that was quite an experience, scavenging up those sandworms. We had to collect them as children, and you'd think that to be kind of cruel, but sandworms are kind of the devil, so it's not that big a deal. But they do help the environment quite a bit, and they can move a shitload of stone. So, in any case, it takes you to one of the walls, kind of shows you some of the mechanics to move them. They don't command them specifically, as you actually create seismic waves that either pull them in certain directions or push them away from certain areas, depending on the frequency that you pulse through them. And he shows you how to kind of guide or protect the road, the pathway.
So, not to be a glutton for punishment or anything, but did you take the curse off the ring? Like, can I put this thing back on, or should I not do that?
That's no, that's still very much cursed. I can't do
Okay.
that.
I didn't think so, but
If I had time to look at it, I could probably discern the nature of the curse.
do you want to have it? Because I wouldn't feel comfortable selling it to anybody.
It seems reasonable. I may as well keep it out of the hands of somebody who might fall to it. Sure, I'll take it off your hands for now.
All right.
Is there anything else I can assist you with besides the boon?
I don't think so. Well, about the mechanical automatron soldier boys,
Yes,
does Kirill know how to do that?
he does now.
Excellent. Are they
Then I-
limited in their range, or maybe we could take them with us when we go a little deeper?
Certainly possible. As it is now,
Good
I think
question. I'll produce my blade and say, while we were in the illusion when we first encountered you, we scaled a tower in which there was a large amount of treasure, and one of those treasures was a sister blade to this one. Do you have any idea where that location is exactly?
the location that you met me in,
Right.
assume that, well, what was the occasion that you were reliving?
It was when Dolometh first met you.
Correct.
Yes. Well, we're in the Hollow Peaks, so that's something like 700, 800 miles to the west of here. But if you're searching for the blade in particular, all of my treasure did not stay there. I brought it all here. So, presumably, the blade is with, I suppose, the Jinn.
I see.
I'll sheath it. Good to know.
That was a good
He
question.
prepares
I forgot about that.
his spell and kind of washes over each of you as just like this almost kind of ethereal, like wisping flame that kind of coats each of you briefly, and then it dies down. But every once in a while, out of like the corner of your eye, you just see like this little flicker of light, a flame that's kind of coming off of each of you. He says, "That should protect you from extreme heat, and it should last at least a day. That being said, I'm not exactly sure how deep this problem goes. But I'm sure the dwarves have something in their citadel to cope with this heat as well. Try the apothecary."
Oh, the dwarfs are long gone. Well, not long gone, but they're leaving the mountain till we can deal with the salamanders because they're just getting, well, obliterated by them.
Kind of nods briefly. Well, perhaps they left some supplies behind. But if that's not the case, then you'd better hurry.
Perfect.
I'll be in touch with you. But I do have things I need to check on. If what you said is true, we're all in deep shit.
Yeah.
Welcome to our lives, men. There's
Kinda
always
nuts.
something.
I don't even think I caught your names.
I'm Kirill.
Kirill.
Aldir Renosi.
Aldir.
Yane.
Misha Valnes.
Kirill, you've taken up that crown. Are you intending to be the ruler of this kingdom?
No. If the dwarves asked for it, I'd probably give it to them.
Be careful about who you give that power to. This place, the things that we created, and the things that it can create are immensely powerful, and people and fouler things will most certainly desire that crown, this kingdom.
Maybe one day, but we still have much we need to do. Can't be settling down, really.
Precisely.
I didn't mean it in that manner. I don't expect you to do that, but be careful who you give that to, if you do pass it on.
Actually, is the pearl in this crown the one that grants wishes, like vital to the crown itself, or can it be removed?
We could try.
Because I think if you can, if we can not destroy the crown's power and remove the pearl, maybe you could hold on to the pearl.
He kind of thinks about it for a moment. We have 100 years to make that decision, and I'd rather not deface a precious relic, my fallen friend, for no reason.
That is fair.
For now, let's part ways. We both have work to do. As I said, I'll be in touch with you. Is there someone capable of messaging me across great distances in this party?
I don't know, Taman. How far does your message go? Through the stone wall over there.
We've actually been over this many times, but
I mean, if it's a cleric, if sending is a cleric spell, then that means you could do it on a day's notice anytime, right?
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was the spell message, but you said it was a 3rd level spell?
No, it's not a message.
No,
Sending.
sending.
Sending is a different spell.
Message is
That's
a
the one that
cantrip.
goes over.
That's
Mhm.
the one I have.
Yeah, so
That's why I haven't seen it, because I haven't looked up the spell sending. Then yes, I can do it on just a day's notice. I would have to just know
yeah.
24 hours.
Wonderful. And if you fall into a situation that you desperately need my assistance, you can contact me, and I will do the same. Kind of nods once, gives you another look over.
Oh,
His eyes kind of
real
stop
quick
on
before you
Jane for a
leave.
little bit.
have
Go
you
ahead.
ever heard of what was that thing? What's the thing called? The crown or whatever?
Crown of Lycidas?
Yeah.
The
You ever heard
crown
of
of, crown of Garrett, actually.
Right.
You ever heard of the crown of Garrett? You know anything about that or no?
No, nothing of that nature. Assume it's some kingdom that's popped up recently.
Well,
I'm-
it's pretty destructive, and we were trying to deal with it, but it didn't really end up happening. So I thought maybe if you knew about it, you could provide some insight, but probably not if you haven't.
if you get your hands on it and you bring it to me, I will be happy to analyze it. But beyond that, no, I have not heard of it. If you describe it to me, I can attempt to scry on it. He asked about the crown and its properties, but he did not. Yeah. Yeah. There's things that Richard knew that I don't. He didn't express to you, so I would have to check to see. Right. Right. You remember what you remember.
It's quite possible it was made here anyway by Lycidas. So
um, as it stands, we both have work to do, so let's get to it. And he starts to
Give him a
move
nod.
towards the exit. And he still is walking, just very, very softly. Seems like he's still considerably weaker than his full nature is right now. But yeah, as he starts to move off, I imagine you guys are either following him or are you guys going to take the lift?
All right, where should we take the lift to?
Well-
We could go straight to the foundry.
we probably don't want to show up in the middle of the mall. Like, we should go to a lair like kind of close and then walk down by foot probably.
All right, where are the golems? I should know this, right?
Yeah, there's a set of at least 10 on each third level going down. So you can utilize them and even activate them without being near them. So you could potentially turn them all on right now.
I think that would ruin the element of surprise.
It's worth noting that should we run out of time on like this thing he gave us, I myself can still I can do the same thing but only to myself. So if we run out of time, I can maybe do like some stuff like that. I don't know.
Some gangster shit.
That works.
Okay, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I think we need to head down there with haste, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Because we only have 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really want to waste.
We just took a long rest, and I guess Misha's going to be down her high level spell. But
Well, what else would we wait for, really? I guess that, but like, I don't
like
think we need to
we
throw
can't really
away 8
make
hours for
much of a
one slot.
plan. We can't really make much of a plan because we don't really know what the situation's like, right? So we
Yeah,
should
I
just
mean,
go.
so at least we just go investigate at the very least.
Yeah, we should just slowly, go down floor by floor.
Well, they were on the dwarves were on floor 28, and I'm thinking floors. I mean, that means 28 from the bottom, right? Not 28 from the top.
Mm-hmm.
So probably just start there and head down. Right?
It's 28 down. It's negative 28. So
It goes to 50?
it is from the top down.
And
And it went to 45, I think.
Okay, 45
okay.
is the foundry.
Well, then I don't know. Maybe try 30.
Let's just go to 28 and just see what happens since the dwarves left.
Okay. So you step into the lift. You all utilize that structure to drop once again all the way down to the 28th floor. As it opens up again, you're greeted with a familiar darkness, as you have been many times in the Hollow Peaks. But, Kirill, there is the ability to activate light sources, those fake flame torches that you saw in the throne room. Those exist all over this structure. So you're able to turn on the lights anywhere that you want.
Okay.
Immediately, as you kind of stop and the doors swing open, you guys can make some perception checks to see if you notice anything different.
I would do so. If I could find the thing.
Almost a double 10.
Aim with the 23.
Perceives. Yeah. That's a natural 23. That's very good. So you step out into this hall, and you can see the signs of a hurried exit by those dwarves. There are some artifacts and items that are left behind. Nothing of particular value in any sense of the word, but there's just trash kind of left in haste. There's no sign or marking of any salamanders, and you can't sense, hear, or see any movement. The halls appear to be very, very dark, or lifeless, rather.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give it the old clap on and turn the lights on this floor.
Sure. There's no immediate response, but the lights do come on, and it's a very instantaneous effect. Just these things bursting into flame, popping up all over the place, and you guys are just kind of filled with a very well lit hall. No need for torches or anything of that nature.
So I believe that the dwarves had said that they had blocked off the entrances. So we probably need to go to one of those barricades and tear it down so that we can proceed down the normal way without the elevator. Yeah.
Or we could just go down one floor.
True.
But removing the barricade will give us some place to run, I guess.
And you do recall that you guys actually went down more floors initially. You have been lower than this, and then you guys went up.
But we were also thinking that the salamanders probably used the elevators, right? Because they didn't know how they were possibly getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow they can do that. So if we take it down too far, probably end up in an area that they're familiar with. Right? Like we'll just be like on top of them, right? Essentially.
It's definitely possible. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, I guess time is a factor. Maybe we should just go down. I don't know.
Yeah, save time.
Okay, so are you just heading straight down? To
Well,
the bottom?
not all the way. No.
One
I think
floor
we
down.
could go down like
One floor down? Okay,
go down and go down and go down and see what happens.
sure. So you're kind of
Like
being
clearing the
methodical
floors as
about
we
it.
go.
Yeah, sure. As you do, I mean, these are fairly complex floors with lots of areas in each
Well, not
one.
necessarily clearing it,
Yeah,
but like, you
right.
know.
Checking the immediate area. Yeah. Well, you guys passed through 10 floors going down. And throughout those 10 floors, you, never sense that there are creatures around. You never hear anything or see anything as you guys kind of briefly open up the lift and glance down either side of the hall. Are you lighting it up as you go, Kirill?
Yes, I'm turning. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be any creatures the first 10 levels that you go down. As you go down another 5, you start to see signs that there have been fights in these specific areas. But more concerning than that, when you landed on this 5th floor, or 5th down from the to the additional 10, so you're on the 43rd down. Like the lift itself, kind of like it felt weird as it stopped. It felt like it almost like skidded to a stop, or like it bumped something as you guys finished your descent.
Like it's been messed with a little bit. Well,
Certainly possible.
probably the floor we get off on then, huh?
Let's go, fellas.
Sure.
I would attempt to stay spread, you know, in case they shoot fireballs. seems plausible. They
Seems
would
possible.
do such a thing.
Sure. So you guys kind of step out, and in these lower floors, there's the air is not uncomfortably warm, but it's very dense. It's very thick, so it's difficult to breathe. Rather, and you're not like choking on the air, but it's really close to it. It's not going to be pleasant continuing in this area for a very long period of time. But as you guys continue to move, you once again see the signs that there was fighting. And as you kind of move towards another flight of stairs, and I assume that you're continuing to go down.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you Kirill is now pretty familiar with the layout of this structure and can guide you to the areas that he needs to. And you guys make your way down another floor. And as it gets towards the bottom of this hold, the floors are more condensed. As it kind of tapers, and as you finally get to the final floor, you see...
the final floor. So you're saying we made it all the way to the bottom without encountering anything?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you make it all the way to the bottom of this thing, where the the foundry is. So where
You should maybe activate those if it's going to take any amount of time to do so.
You can see that there is a thin beam of light that is kind of dominating this room before you turn on the lights. And it's at the center of this room. It's a very, very bright, but it is just this like solid, thick beam of sunlight that's blazing straight down from the ceiling onto what looks like just like a black pyramid, almost, that's set in the center of this room, and from that structure that's in the center of this like 100-foot wide room, and probably an extra 150 feet in length, there's the obvious signs of a forge where people craft weapons and mundane tools as well, and armor. You can see that they're still lit, still heat. You could potentially utilize the structures as you see them right now, but all around this structure, this like black pyramid, Kirill, you in particular, there's like this feeling of deja vu, or like just like a distant memory is kind of being recalled to you, and you see it almost like there's like this plate that's like encircling this triangle, like the pyramid that's at the center of this room, and it just is like off-putting. It's like this gigantic hot plate, essentially. So about 12 foot wide, 12 foot in diameter, rather. That's just like kind of looping around it, and you can tell even from here it's really, really hot. Like it's a great big source of energy that's kind of radiating out of this room. You can see that it's distorting what light wisps off of the central beam. It's being warped by the heat that's coming off of this thing.
What's
And
the
it's
purpose?
so you know that is the light anchor that basically converts that concentrated energy, solar energy, into magics, and they utilized it to create a lot of the implements in the Hollow Peaks. But your recollection of this thing is not from what Sorendor taught you about it or the crown. You remember this place from some other experience.
From like LARPing his fucking Dolometh?
No.
Probably from your vision
Yes.
would be my guess.
But in any case, the place is empty.
So approximately like right above us is where like the room where we did the challenges and things is, right?
Yes.
So ostensibly this beam of light was like a little doinker until Kirill fixed the mirrors and things. So maybe it turning back on has scared the salamanders off or something. Be my initial thought.
Say that one more time.
Right now, since he got extra training on.
Like, I'm assuming that the beam of light that's coming down from it is much larger than it was before because of like the refactoring of the mirrors and all of those things that Kirill did up top. So maybe salamanders like reacted to that, and that's why they're not all here. That's like what I was thinking, maybe. Like maybe the dwarves didn't have much recollection of the past, but maybe the salamanders do, and they like seeing the fact that this thing has been returned to its like former state has been like them going, oh fuck, like daddy's home, like we got to get back in line. I don't know.
No, they do live for a lot longer, so probably. Anyway, dwarves live for a long time too.
Yeah, dwarves live like in like the top end, like 600 to 700 years, and elves generally live in the thousands.
Yeah, but the dwarves have also been somewhat ravaged, so like they don't have any old
Yes.
people left, really.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
fucked.
So I'm not saying like they specifically remember, but like maybe they actually have. I'm assuming they're like an intelligent race to a certain degree, especially since they're like slaving people. So maybe that's why they're not here. Like they, that's a thought anyway.
I'll take it.
But I think we should still look for them.
Wait a minute. So in this, I had almost forgotten about what happened in the vision. Actually, do I remember the poisonous sounding voice sounded like Mercadian in my vision?
It did not sound like Mercadian.
Okay.
No. It's go ahead and make a religion check. No, I mean it didn't sound human, and it didn't sound particularly like a normal sentient creature. That's the way I would say it. But you did find the message, I guess, or the vision. But yeah. So
it's almost like Dolan left me to deal with the devil? I don't know.
could talk to your peers about it and ask them what they think. You can share it with them if you want to in the campaign info. And these visions are things that are kind of like really etched into your minds. That's why you can recall them very clearly.
Yeah, I would imagine they were relatively traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
Something Cambions is what I'm getting out of this. I digress. We've sidetracked from the actual session.
No, it's pretty relevant. But yes, so you come across this crucible, this room, this foundry. But again, it is abandoned. There's nothing in here for you in particular. But you do see in each of the pathway, or there are open pathways that lead down further, but they are like casting light up as well. They don't look like they're naturally formed, though, or rather, they don't look like they were crafted. These look like they were broken, like ripped into. And you can see as you kind of get closer, the telltale marks from those weapons that the salamanders wielded, like the scarring of flame. And as you do look down one of these passageways, you see a river of lava and a large open cavern
that's heading down in a direction. And this is one of 3 pathways that you could take. You kind of step over to the other ones. You see similar effects. But from the first path that you crossed, Misha, you hear a soft and like almost pitiful moan coming down from the pathway. It's like a soft cry almost.
In 60 feet, it's
It's
my little sensor thingy's not going off.
probably not within 60 feet of you. It's probably a little bit further. And you can even see like there's like this stone pathway that kind of runs along parallel to the river of lava. And you can see like there's a lump that is kind of resting very close to where the river is.
Quite the vision you got there.
The lava river.
Mm-hmm. And as
Do I
you
see
guys
a metal bowl?
Stop everybody and point it out.
the metal bowl, yeah, that's the thing that's around the pyramid of the light anchor.
So does the crying sound dwarven?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
An injured escaped slave dwarf. We could investigate.
You all start moving down that way.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Wait, does the crying sound? Are you talking about your vision, or is there someone crying?
No, I thought Misha heard something
Yeah.
down the lava.
Yeah, no, I
river.
heard.
Yeah, Misha
actual
did hear
design.
I wasn't really able to listen to what was going on because I was reading that
Reading
thing.
it, Sure.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys start moving down in that direction, we will end the session there. As you walk towards a
Oh,
soft crying
okay.
voice in the deep dark of the Hollow Peaks.
Cliffhanger.